Welcome to your doom.
Hello, my prodigal sons and daughters. I am your humble host, Hollywood. You know, boys and girls, it's hard to finish a game. We have so many demands on our valuable time that playing a game you enjoy is a luxury, and the vast majority of the games we play often go by the wayside after a few hours for various reasons. Every so often, a game comes along that strikes a chord with the player and grips them. Something about the experience is so compelling that they feel a need to see it through. Today, I want to take a look at 5 games that had such an impact on me. But not just the game itself. What particular moment in the game made me stop and realize that I was probably going to finish the experience? For better or worse, I was committed to playing through to the end and seeing where the game took me or how the story turned out. Speaking of demands on our valuable time, I want to thank you all for spending a little bit of yours with me. Leave a comment with your favorite moments and games because I enjoy reading about them. There will be spoilers for the games on this list, so proceed with caution if there is a title you haven't played yet. And with that out of the way, let's get to the list. Terraria is a very special game that I have logged many hours into over the years. I was an early adopter and watched as each update improved and expounded the game to where it's almost unrecognizable from where it began in 2011. I had played for a few hours when I had the moment that I knew that I was going to be mining the depths of this game and seeing everything it had to offer. That was when I fought the Eye of Cthulhu for the first time. A simple message pops up about being watched by an evil presence just a couple hours into the game, and a sinking feeling starts to envelop you. Talking to the merchant, you realize you're not the only one. A few minutes after the sun goes down, you're greeted by the Eye of Cthulhu, a disembodied floating oculus dripping with gore and personality, shooting tiny eyeballs at you while doggedly chasing you down. The second phase of this fight sees the eye burst into a nightmare of teeth and aggressive barroom pickup lines.
Hey boy! Hey boy! You look mighty cute in them jeans. Now come on over here.
While this fight isn't really difficult, it's the unexpected attack that got me killed the first time, as I simply wasn't prepared. At that point, I hadn't even learned which key was the button to quick heal, and I was still trying to switch over to health potions in my hotbar. It was a massacre.
Hey boy, slow down.
This first boss encounter was completely unexpected and changed my understanding of the game. I became a little more paranoid of what Terraria might throw at me, besides the devious traps in the caverns below. I knew when that curveball of a boss fight happened that I was hooked. There is so much to find, craft, and complete that no other game comes close to Terraria for that sense of adventure, discovery, and satisfaction at a job well done. It's a game that truly makes the player feel like a pioneer, discovering a new and uncharted land, braving dangers, and encountering magical artifacts and enemies. This world opened up and swallowed me whole with all of its secrets to uncover. It was also one of the few games I could play with my kids at the time, as they were still too young to play Left 4 Dead with their old man. My 2 sons and I poured a lot of hours into discovering this unique world as a team, and I have a lot of great memories with my kids as a result. So that cements it as one of the best gaming experiences of my life. It takes a lot of inspiration from Mojang's magnum opus of Minecraft, but in my opinion, Terraria outshines that game in almost every way. A list like this is surprisingly hard to make because it's really not one moment in a game that makes it worth playing. It's a culmination of things that add up to an experience worth having. Dishonored has a million reasons to play it, and so many outstanding points to choose from that the moment I chose for this list might seem a little bizarre. It was the part of the introduction just after playing hide and seek with Emily. Corvo walks along the cliffside to meet the Empress and give a report on how the mission went. We meet Anton Sokolov and see him painting a portrait. His confidence and demeanor as he creates another masterpiece is pitch perfect. This whole scene is amazing for world building and character introduction, But the moment I saw these trees by the outdoor art studio, I knew. These trees that meander along the edge of the cliff, twisted and corrupted by the gale winds coming in from the vast and tenebrous ocean. I was dumbfounded by the attention to detail. These seemingly insignificant trees hold so much detail and character. Anton Sokolov, the master artist and inventor, holds his painting sessions for the royal house at this spot often. It shows not only how beautiful this place is, but also how cruel and indifferent it means to live here. I knew from that moment that if the small and inconsequential details were this well thought out, that I was in for an awesome ride. The characters are brilliant, and Dunwall is the perfect backdrop to play out this tale of bloody revenge and double cross. The art style is timeless and makes you feel like you're playing in an oil painting. Every mission has an extreme level of detail that was painstakingly placed and considered. Most players will never see the subtle world-building minutiae or even care that much, but Arcane lovingly put together this world for everyone, and the moment I saw those trees standing as a gnarled and bent shelter belt among the white-hued rocks and ebony-toned iron, I knew. It's not every day that you come across something so epic and cinematic as Mass Effect 2. Out of the trilogy in BioWare space opera, the second game is my favorite. The production quality jumped so high from the first game that it was instantly recognizable. Everything about this game was an improvement from the original, graphically, mechanically, and narratively. The moment I knew this game was going to be completed was the introduction itself. After defeating Sovereign, the powerful Reaper ship and boss of the first game, Mass Effect 2 opens with the Normandy being ripped apart by a dominant and mysterious villain.
It's not the Geth. Brace for evasive maneuvers!
Presley!
Kinetic barriers down. Multiple hull breaches. Weapons offline. Somebody get that fire out.
The Alliance won't abandon us. We just need to hold on. Get everyone onto the escape
Joker's
shuttle.
still in the cockpit. He won't abandon ship.
I need you to get the crew onto the evac shuttles. I'll take care of Joker.
The Normandy itself is the pinnacle of human and alien technology. It represented the best that Earth had to offer, both militaristically and politically. That ship was the culmination of hours of hard work and storytelling from the first game, and it was torn apart like wet toilet paper. I was gobsmacked. This whole sequence reaches a fever pitch where Shepard is scrambling to retrieve Joker, the wisecracking and talented pilot of the crew. Joker has a special connection to the Normandy from his history and medical condition that was established in the first game, and this has made him unwilling to let go in this impossible Kobayashi Maru scenario.
Mayday! 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 This is SSV Normandy! We've suffered heavy damage from an unknown enemy! Come on, baby, hold together! Hold together!
Come on, Joker. We have to get out of here.
No, I won't abandon the Normandy. I can still save her.
The Normandy's lost. Going down with the ship won't change that.
Yeah, okay. Help me up. Ow! Watch the arm!
Getting Joker to the escape pod sees Shepard perform the ultimate sacrifice for the surviving crew members, and the resulting moments of drifting through space without direction or hope are some of the most poignant in the story. Joker's desperate last call to his commander and friend echo in my mind as the end approaches. At this point in the story, there is no idea of who just viciously attacked, and no chance of a simple goodbye. Mass Effect 2 is one of the greatest sequels of all time, and almost from the moment I started the campaign, I knew I was going to finish this. The story in this game is kind of a Seven Samurai tale, as you compile the perfect team across the galaxy, only to charge into what can only be described as a suicide mission at the end. BioWare may not be the creative giant they once were, and EA is still feasting on their husk of a studio, but Mass Effect 2 still stands as a testament and relic of how to make a compelling action RPG. It's unfortunate that EA has to make playing these games such a bothersome affair, at least on PC. The Legendary Edition combines all three of the Mass Effect trilogy into one convenient package, but the EA launcher and app is required to play on PC. Seriously, just trying to gather footage for this video was aggravating as hell. Here's a tip for EA, Ubisoft, and others. If you sell a single-player game on a platform like Steam, we don't want your bullshit launchers and other data-collecting software to be installed with it. That's why we bought it on Steam, and not your proprietary storefront. All the strings tied to playing a single-player game aren't necessary, and ruin the experience, along with destroying consumer trust. I loved Mass Effect, but please don't buy the Legendary Edition if you've already experienced these games. It only gives EA the rights to sell and use your information. If they want that stupid and superfluous app installed on my computer, or me agreeing to their invasive terms of service, then they can make their games free to play. The Steam key alone is proof of purchase enough. Why do I need more garbage software installed to play an offline game? I'm sick and tired of actually paying these companies for the privilege of abusing my information and hard drive space for their shareholders, just so I can enjoy my favorite hobby. Sorry about that. That's enough ranting for now. Let's move on.
The children must remain functional to be effective producers of Atom. I find being around them very uncomfortable. Even with those things implanted in their bellies, they are still children. They play and sing.
No time to waste.
Sometimes they look at me and they don't stop. Sometimes they smile.
You could pick any moment in the first few hours of the next game on my list, and it would be a valid reason to see it through. Bioshock is rich with memorable moments, but the moment I truly wanted to see this game through isn't the opening plane crash with the mysterious structure looming in the darkness of the ocean and the twilight of the prominent moon. It isn't the iconic bathysphere introduction to Andrew Ryan and the city of Rapture, followed by a bloody splicer attack. It was close when Atlas pleads with the player to find his family. The discordant violin music gently tugs at your heartstrings and subtly urges you to help this enigmatic stranger over the radio while he begs you for assistance.
I know you must feel like the unluckiest man in the world right now, but you're the only hope I'll ever see my wife and child again.
Giving a reason to traverse the deadly city under the waves more than simple curiosity. No, my moment for this list is the level of Fort Frolic and the introduction of Sander Cohen.
Oh God, you sick fuck, let me out of there!
This segment is expertly designed as the player hunts down various victims for a narcissistic sociopath. We are then tasked with taking pictures of their desecrated bodies and posting the vile photos onto an art exhibit.
It seems you've got the eye of the shutterbug, little moth.
Sander's monologues both berate and praise the player. His fits of self-doubt lead to vicious attacks that leave us never knowing what to expect next, even while we help this madman finish his masterpiece.
What's that look? You don't like it, do you? I don't need to be judged by you, by anyone. Screw you! Screw all you fucking doubters! Here's what I say to all of you! for that outburst. You'll have to forgive an old fool with his artistic temperament.
Exploring casinos, strip clubs, and theaters leads to some of the best moments that Bioshock has to offer, after which Sander Cohen himself appears to revel in his magnum opus. At which point, the player is left to decide whether to fight this madman or simply walk away and leave him to a fate worse than death. Simply brilliant. I decided I would have to see everything Bioshock had to show me after this level in particular. While the narrative is a roller coaster and extremely gripping, I don't think Bioshock ever quite reaches the heights of level design and interwoven storytelling the way that Fort Frolic sets the standard. Atlas guides the player by way of radio and little else. Fort Frolic and Sander Cohen heighten the interactivity in a way that Atlas can't hope to achieve with a simple, "Would you kindly?"
Hurry now. My muse is a fickle bitch with a very short attention span.
Take your pick of the memorable moments and story twists, but the biggest character of the game is the Art Deco city of Rapture itself. A beautifully realized world where every minute detail adds to the experience is a great reason to finish a game. A beautifully realized world that tells a fascinating tale of political intrigue and ideological fanaticism create an unmissable experience.
A man chooses. A slave obeys.
Obey!
I don't play a ton of puzzle games, but occasionally I will indulge in a brain tickler to shake things up. I thoroughly enjoyed Braid, but I never finished The Witness. I simply have too much going on to realistically finish every game I start. But as far as puzzle games go, Antichamber has a different vibe. The surreal environment beckons to be explored, as MC Escher's fingerprints are displayed everywhere. Impossible structures and shapes distract you as rooms alter themselves right behind your back as you explore. Hidden passages and doorways open unexpectedly, and finding your way back to where you were is not guaranteed. Following one path can mean missing out on others until you start to learn how these rooms connect to each other. Antichamber is kind of a fever dream of diabolical geometry, but I suppose the moment I decided I would finish this game is when I realized the deeper meaning and metaphor on life that this game is. Text bubbles tell you in no uncertain terms that life changes along with the game. It's okay to fail and try again, and chasing certain paths can be fruitless, but finding out that the chosen path in your life wasn't the right one is simply part of the journey. All the decisions we make and the things we learn inform our future, and we can't be our future selves without living our present lives. Slow down a little bit and enjoy the journey, because much like living, Antichamber isn't about finding the end, as it is seeing what the world has to offer. Every room and hallway has something interesting to show, something important to teach. If you're not looking, you're going to miss out on valuable lessons to grow and learn, and progress will be harder for it. The puzzles are just as surreal and obscure as the environments, but the more you play and learn the rules, the easier it becomes. Life isn't easy. There will be pain and loss. There will be a sense of unfairness as you progress and seemingly get nowhere. But just because we can't see the bigger picture doesn't mean that dead end was pointless. I decided to finish the journey of Antichamber when I realized the philosophy of the game is to give hope. Don't give up on your dreams, no matter how out of reach they seem. Giving up is the only true way to lose at this game of life. And speaking of not giving up, this brings me to my top pick for this list, Days Gone. I never expected to fall in love with an open-world zombie survival game, but Days Gone subverted my expectations every chance it got. When I expected a more simple experience, like 7 Days to Die or Left 4 Dead, I got Skyrim levels of open-world detail with a story more satisfying than The Walking Dead. The Oregon backdrop perfectly suits the apocalyptic collapse of society, as a strange virus corrupts millions of people almost overnight. Survivors turn on each other for resources and scraps, and different camps control various regions as the lands between are overrun by the infected freakers. I expected to be turned loose into a playground of senseless violence, and the setting to be an excuse for decimating hordes of zombies like the Mall in Dead Rising. What I got was a heartfelt story that explores what it means to be alive, to be human, and that people are worth fighting for. What kind of morally ambiguous situations make it acceptable to turn on someone? And what friendship means to different people out in the shit. The moment I decided I would finish this game was the moment Days Gone showed me what friendship and loyalty mean to these characters. So much happens in this story that it would take too long to explain how and why we got to this moment, because this moment doesn't happen until maybe 10 hours into the game. Here is a drastically condensed version of events. Deacon St. John has been fighting to keep his little group alive ever since the first days of the infection. His wife, Sarah, is gravely injured during those first few hours.
How you doing, little sister?
So stupid. It was this little kid, this goddamn little kid.
Big goddamn knife.
Wait, we need help. She's been wounded.
What's wrong with her?
Well, she's not. Whatever the hell's going on out there, she's been stabbed.
I can't take anymore. Okay. Shit. I've only got room for 2 of you, okay? 2.
You got room for 2 of us.
You're overweight, okay? I can only take 2 of you, 2.
Come on, help me, come on. We gotta get on that ship.
I heard what he said. There's only room for 2 on that chopper. Go. Go with her. I'll be okay. Look, I've been through worse shit than this before. You know?
Yeah, we have.
And they are separated, so Deacon can look out for his brother, Boozer. Sarah has the best chance of survival by going on the chopper, but Boozer will die on his own. Without enough space on the chopper for everyone in the party, Deacon makes a difficult and life-altering choice to help his friend after he thinks his wife is safe. Later learning that the camp was overrun and Sarah probably died, all Deacon has left is his brother in arms.
I want this back. Deke!
Oh, shit. What did you do?
2 years later, they are simply surviving, and Bill is attacked by a violent cult that has taken root in the area.
Ron, don't look at it. Goddamn arm. I'm serious, don't look at it. God, don't look at it. Get on the bike!
His arm is damaged beyond repair, and after a few days of fighting fever and infection, Bill loses the arm to save his life. He falls into his old boozing way as a means to cope with his new situation. Deacon tracks down his friend as he drunkenly puts himself in serious danger. Boozer simply can't cope anymore and wants to go out in a blaze of glory.
So I'm going home.
Oh, we can't go back to O'Leary Mountain.
No, I'm not going to fucking O'Leary Mountain. I'm going to Farewell.
Shit, come on. We gotta get...
You don't want to be doing that.
You want to take a swing at me? Fine. Get in line behind them. Ring it! Okay. So this is it? This is how we're going out?
Get out of here, brother.
No, I don't think so. Huh, Boozer? Huh?
Bro?
Boozer? The night your old lady was killed. What did I say to you? What did I say to you, huh? I found you halfway through a case of whiskey. You were gonna drink yourself to death. What did I say to you?
You grabbed a bottle, and you chugged it. It was a lot of goddamn whiskey. And you told me that if I was gonna drink myself to death, you'd be right there with me. That's what brothers do.
So like I said, Boozer, is this it? This is how we're going out?
And this is the moment that made me invested to the point of no return. I had put so much work into the story and game by this point. All the side quests of helping camps and survivors to gain a better reputation, learning that Sarah might have survived and there is more to the zombies than bloodlust, gives more reasons to continue. But in this moment, I was willing to give it all up to stay at Boozer's side. Is this how we go out? That's the perfect summation of this surprisingly deep story. Friends and family mean more than anything else in this broken world, and that moment showed me how invested I was in the struggle. I had to see it through and see what happens to Bill, to fight the monsters that hide in plain sight and protect the people I came to love from all threats, foreign and domestic. The characters and story are deep, and much like Antichamber, the overarching theme is what kept me playing through. There you have it, 5 gaming moments that made me decide to give the experience my full attention. Leave a comment and let your old man know some of your favorite moments from your favorite games. And if you like this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing for more content like this. Life is hard, and at the end, all we have is each other. So tell someone you love that they matter, and they make a difference in your life. Telling them that might just make a difference in theirs. Take care, you crazy kids.